Yeah.
So
No rush, man.
basically, what I also think we can like honestly have a conversation about the lounge and next steps, kind of like
Okay.
in public, even if it's like informal, kind of like discuss like the
Okay.
vision for it and what's the next steps. And
Yeah.
kind of when people start joining, they start like kind of chipping in, like listening to it.
Yeah. Hey man, whatever you want to bring up and talk about, I'm with it. I'm game. Like I'm seriously, there's nothing that I'm not comfortable with talking about. So whatever you want to bring up, man, I'm game.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll introduce you to Natalie. Hey Natalie, I know that you joined and you're standing there somewhere. Well, if you haven't, if anyone here hasn't really met or know Jared yet, so Jared Dillinger is a prominent Filipino American professional basketball player who made his mark in the Philippine Basketball Association. Dillinger, hello. Oh, and if you hold clap, too. If you hold C, you clap. You know, it's like with the Y, say yes and no, like a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And quickly proved his worth with the Talk and Text team, securing 5 championships in just 4 years. In 2013, he is the creator and co-host of Let It Fly podcast that presents an unfiltered explanation into the captivating world of basketball from unique perspectives. So thank you so much, JD, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Lovely introduction. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, bro. It's dude, it's kind of cool our journey together. We've known each other for X amount of months, almost a year, I'd say, when we were talking initially about this. And man, here we are, man. It's kind of cool. Just starting the journey.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, honestly, it feels like a year. It's been 6 months actually,
Okay,
which is kind
6.
of
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're working, bro, like
And
everything is just blurred. So
I know, and it's so funny because like you saw a video from us on social media, and then you reached out. We started having a conversation about like, let's do something. And I remember you didn't really know what to do. There's a bunch of stuff going on from your end. And you're like, I
yeah,
don't know what necessarily, but let's work on something. And
yeah,
then through all the conversations, right, at some point we just casually met on the VCon 2023,
yeah. That was
which was
nuts.
so
That was
random.
nuts, bro. Yeah, that was. I'm glad that you recognized me, man. Like, I mean, I was with a big, tall entourage, so I mean, I wasn't I'm sure it wasn't too hard to find us, but yeah, man, that was so cool seeing you there, and in like coming full circle of like, oh my god, yeah, I would be talking to you when you're in Brazil or in Miami or, um, yeah, man, that was really cool.
Yeah, and you were shooting hoops when I saw you, which is like it makes it even
Of course
funnier.
I was. Yeah, of course I
Because I
was.
saw, of course you were, and then I saw from a distance, and in my mind I was like, no, there's no way that's JD, right? And then I started
Yeah,
getting close, and then I heard your co-host, right? He said, "Come on, JD," or something like that, and I was like, "There's no way." And I just
yeah,
waited. I stood next to you, and I just waited. And I was like, "Come on, that's it, NBA."
that's nuts, bro. I still gotta put out that interview that I had of you on there, man. I haven't put any
Oh yeah,
VCon
yeah, yeah. You
content
were
out.
recording, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're saving it for another show, so obviously we're not putting it out yet, but
Hmm.
man, it will eventually come out.
Oh, for sure. I would love to have that copy though. Not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
lie.
yeah, bro. You know what? Like later, I'll hit up my video people just to give that to you, so you can do what you want with it. So we put
For
it out
sure.
anyway. So yeah, bro.
For sure. So, okay, I have a few questions that I'm honestly curious about. So, I wanted to know a little bit of like how did you get here of like doing the podcast and all, but also like what led you to where you are today in terms of like your career.
Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty simple. I've been playing professionally for almost 16 years now, and I know that I do have to pivot into another chapter, another industry, just because obviously you can't play sports forever. So what started simply just building up my personal brand with one video editor that I met through the pandemic, and we didn't know what we were doing. We just said like, hey, let's just start making content. I don't know about what, just whatever kind of falls in our lap. And I would just simply go off of YouTubers that I like. So
Mm-hmm.
I would simply just go off of like Alex Hormozy or Jordan Peterson or just these individuals, and I would just kind of emulate them and just start talking on camera. And eventually I started getting more gigs through crypto companies or Web2 companies wanting me to make content for them. And as soon as I got comfortable talking on the camera more and more, and my video editor started getting more profound or more talented with editing, I figured it was now time to try to make a show. So I didn't know what I was doing though. And so it took me a while to like connect the dots of getting together sponsorships, partnerships. What type of equipment do we need to get? What type of
Mm-hmm.
space do we need to find? Um, Finding the right producer, you know. So all those things took me a little bit of trial and error. But once I figured all that out, then the rest was just fun. I gathered a handful of basketball guys that I think are similar to what there is in the United States with Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal in terms of the personality and relationship that they have on camera with each other. And I just figured like, let's just emulate that and broadcast that here in the Philippines. And
For sure.
that's pretty much where we're at this present day and time. We just announced our show, and it's been great so far. We're having a lot of fun, getting a lot of interest and eyes on us, and man, we're just starting the journey. So it's been a roller coaster ride up to this point, but dude, we just begun.
Nice, nice. And I feel like that's the hardest part, right? Or the one that
Yeah,
the most important, like finding people that really resonate with you. So when you're together, it feels like it flows, right? Because
yeah,
even the
correct,
partnership or the equipment, of course, that's important. You don't want to sound like you're recording this on a Nokia, but
right.
like having people that content just generates itself when you're together. Like, did you know them for like a long time ago? Like, how did you get to know them?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, we all know each other quite well. We were all in the same draft class, except for one. He was 2 years older than us. But at least the way basketball players operate in the Philippines, especially if you're a Filipino American, we all congregate together. We all stick together. Everyone knows everyone. Like in our league, there's only 150 spots in the professional leagues.
Okay.
So out of the 150 people, you all know each other more or less. And we play each other so many times during one season. So we all have so many stories of championships going against each other, or playing on the national team together, or playing on the same team with each other. We have 15 years of that. So, and we've all pretty much grew up half of our lives in the Philippines. You got to think like we all moved here when we are in our 23, 24 years old. So we all started out with no families. And then that whole thing progressed into getting a family, getting married, having kids. We all shared that process together.
Mm-hmm.
So we really got comfortable being around each other and talking. So it makes it pretty easy when we're just talking on camera at this point. It just feels like we're just bantering with each other, talking about basketball.
So I know that you guys are talking about basketball, but like, do you have a is there a particular thing that you guys bring like in the following episodes, or is it like kind of going
Oh
over
yeah,
clips or reliving
yeah.
memories?
No, no, for sure. Like, I mean, our idea for the first couple of episodes was just to develop our personalities so that people can get a good idea of who we are individually and as a whole. But ideally, we're gonna be having analysis of the NBA, of our professional league, of of international leagues, if you will. And we're going to bring people in to interview, whether that's NBA players or obviously international players or players in our league. And we'll also do interviews back in LA, because we have a team in LA who will do interviews in LA as well. So we're full on going with this as if, we're a media outlet, but it's just done by basketball players. Just very similar to how you see in the States with all the pro players with their podcasts.
Yeah, for sure. So when are you guys bringing Joe Rogan?
Right, that'd be so
Just,
cool. we gotta get a follower count up first have some
yeah.
more legitimacy in the States. But if we can increase our status, bro, like, yeah, it would be dope to put someone like him on.
Yeah, maybe on the lounge. Who knows? Imagine.
Right, maybe here, bro. That'd be sick.
All right, so about the lounge, right? So for those that don't know, we are actually, you came to me with this idea of like, hey, what if we bring get like the people that watch the podcast? What if we make this after show type of space that people can hang out and get information? Like, why did you come up with this, and why did you think that was
Yeah,
important for the podcast?
yeah. So for people who don't know me, I am big into the finance industry, into crypto, into Web3, keyword metaverse, that. So
The
I've really made a brand
forbidden
of
word.
myself. Yeah, I know we can't say that right now. It's down times. No, but but really, I know that component of building a community through that through that through that avenue. And I figured that, look, man, let's make a virtual lobby where we can give the community something of a different angle to engage and interact with us. And I think as we move more and more into this digital era, you see Meta jumping on board with the whole virtual space. You're seeing so many companies, Apple bringing out their tech recently, bringing on to the whole AR, VR. I think it's the right move to make. And I think it just gives, again, like just this other angle of people joining in, walking around this virtual universe, if you will, of our show where you can interact with us and you can watch the show. But we also wanted to add another dynamic to it, and eventually we'll let out some info of what we're going to do to give back to the community um, through NFTs.
For sure. And that's the good thing about having like a space, like in a virtual space, you have a lot more control about like what's digital and what you can integrate. For example, we
Mhm.
discussed this, right? You can always have all the way from like a crypto based access key, right, to access a different part of the lounge, or like a different room that is like
Mhm.
for everyone that claims or is gifted with this access key is able to go into the room where all of the hosts talk shit, live. So you can visualize
Yeah.
that in person. Or like receiving digital items for of clothing, right? The idea that we're actually launching a Sunken Blimp shirt for like wearing here on the stage, and all sorts of items that you can get from a lounge like this and collect. So I think that aligns 100% with this idea of like the crypto world and NFTs, and it's gonna be pretty cool,
Mhm.
kind of bringing that to life, through a lounge.
Yeah, we're really excited, man. We can't wait to present our next company that we're working with, that will infuse this whole virtual universe that we're building. So we think it's going to be next level in terms of the way podcasts are ran, and we are going to try something different, and we're going to see if this really hits off. So we're really excited to get the gears in motion, if you will, with this whole thing that we're building. So we think it's really exciting. We think it's really engaging, and we just want to see if it works.
For sure. And one thing about the lounge that we discussed, right, is having, for example, the lockers as a way of like giving a
Yeah.
little bit of insight into each of the hosts' lives, and inside this locker having images, personal items about each of the hosts. I actually want to ask you because we have to work on it. So,
Yeah. Oh,
what do
ask
you
away, please.
see? What do you envision being inside your locker? Like, what in the locker would represent JD?
Yeah. I would think since I'm still playing, it would be cool to have keep up to date with the ongoing season that I'm currently playing, whatever season that we're in. I think putting up my crypto projects in there, I think that would be kind of cool too. And I think giving people access to my social media accounts in there would be another way to find out more about me. And what else would be cool? I mean, outside of that, maybe maybe something that we can connect through gaming. Like I'm a gamer, so we could connect through there. I would imagine
For
like
sure.
showing the video games that I'm currently playing and that I'm streaming. I think that would be cool too.
That'd be cool, yeah. And we could always use objects to kind of represent that too. To not only show you like your game tag that people can like watch you
Yeah,
play, but also like, we could put in a gaming PC in the locker with the cables connected and the RGB lights for like streaming. Like we can have fun on
that'd
like
be dope.
compositing like everything that pertains to your life into like what would fit into a locker. Or like
That's
an
dope.
object that represents you. I don't know, like that. That's
No,
such a
that'd be
fun
cool.
thing. And it's gonna
I
be
mean,
cool going through like all the other hosts too to figure out like what locker represents each of them.
I think so, man. I think like I'll send you some more examples, but these NBA lockers, like they're so spacious. Like they actually have their own TVs and PlayStations or Xboxes in their locker
In the
cubby.
locker room?
Like yeah,
Wait,
like
what?
if you ever go to an NBA locker room, bro, it is so cool. Like their own locker cubby will have a fridge. It will have a TV where they're watching the game or playing video games. Obviously, that you can hang your clothes and your shoes and everything like that. But it's yeah, bro, it's pretty cool. Like locker rooms in the NBA for like I'll send you some later of what they look like.
For sure, that's pretty awesome. Yo, this gives me an idea. I'm not gonna say right now. I want this to be a surprise. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to fly
Okay.
this and then I'll run it by
Okay.
you. But this might be
Okay.
pretty cool.
Cool, man. And I just gave you some inspiration here live just now.
I'm honestly gonna use that. Um, all right. So okay. So what should people know before they watch the first episode?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are just four guys that are extremely passionate about the game that we all play and that we love. We have so much experience and wisdom and knowledge that we can share with everyone through our perspective and our opinions. We want to make sure that people can learn something from our show and outside of just having fun. So we will give people this scope of what it's like to be a professional athlete overseas. How much money do athletes overseas generally make? What is the daily life of these professional athletes, and how it's different culturally adapting to these different areas of the world playing basketball. And we want to share them our training and how that works. So a lot of people don't know what it's like to play overseas internationally, let alone in the Philippines, let alone in Asia or Europe. So we want to give them that scope, let them know how it's like. I think that would be really beneficial, especially to the younger basketball players up and coming, because it's hard to find information like this. So I think getting it from actual pros, it would be very, very useful.
Sweet. That's awesome, man.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Props for
No, thank you,
that.
everyone.
And for everyone that has not seen the first episode yet, it is out. We actually put a link on stage that people can just click and watch the first episode. But like also, if you haven't, just find out where you can find it. Like on JD's Instagram, you can find it. Where else can people find this?
Oh yeah, man, we got it everywhere. We have it on Amazon, Spotify, our iHeartRadio, um, obviously YouTube, and across all social platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. It's out on as many distribution channels as we're trying to get it on. So, and you just search it up on any of those platforms, you guys will find us.
Sweet. All right, man. Thank you so much for like the quick conversation. If there's anything else you
Yeah,
want to add, feel free to leave a message.
yeah, yeah. No, man, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this platform. I'm really excited about our partnership, and I'm excited for us to really push the boundaries of what we're doing together. So I think we're doing something different. So I think that's really fun that we're trying to do something different outside of the normal way of podcasting. I think that's really exciting. So let's let's continue this journey. And to everyone that's watching, like, just follow us, follow Sunken Blimp. We're doing some really cool things together, and we can't wait to show you guys more and more of what we're building. So thank you for having me, bro.
Oh, this is a part of your home now.
That's fair.
And I actually want to
I
show. Do you
actually,
want to check
but I
out
actually have
this
a
real quick?
question.
Oh yeah. So
I actually have a question regarding how do you plan on using NFTs in